So I would love if you can tell me a bit about yourself in your own words, who you are and what you do.
My name is Sasha Phyars-Burgess. I take photographs. Yeah. Sorry. That's what I do. I take photos. I make photos. I take photos of Black people. I'm sorry.
I love just that sentence. That's perfect. That's
cool.
Perfect. Yes, I love your photos, the photos you take, and I want to hear more about your process of taking photos, because I feel like from looking at your work, it seems like you are someone who always has their camera on them, because you seem to catch people in really off guard and intimate moments, and in a way that I'd imagine that person feels really seen. And so your work also has like a documentary feel in that way, but I'm curious if you would use that language to describe it.
My photography is like documentary based. I wouldn't say that I am a documentary photographer in the sense that, you know, am I making documents? Is this factual? Is this evidence or things like that? I do think that I am interested in that approach to seeing things, because I think I like visually the way that it looks. And I also like the idea of kind of presenting a scene as I might have saw it, for better or for worse, without like too much embellishment.
So from a previous statement of yours from the residency that you did at the Center of Photography at Woodstock, I'm just gonna quote something from that statement of yours. You said, "I wonder what would happen if I moved home. Would my family be accepting? Will my countrymen recognize me? I photographed Trinidad because I am looking for myself. It's that search we're all on, and I'm hoping someday soon I'll find me too." I thought that was really beautiful, and it did resonate with me on many levels as a child of an immigrant as well, who was also raised in the United States. I just feel like whenever I go back to where my dad is from, I'm not seen as that. I'm seen as an American. And so it's just really interesting when you move in and out of like these two identities that you're part of, but in each of those places, you're maybe not seen as that other part of your identity. So I'm like that quote of yours was from 2015. And so I'm curious how those questions have progressed since then.
I think then I was very directly trying to feed my like desire to be more Trinidadian and my desire to be seen more. And so I thought as such, because that's what my family was seen as. So I think when I went to Trinidad then, like that was my goal. And I really wanted to figure out how I could like have those experiences that I felt like my family members had. But then at the same time, I went and I realized I'm not Trinidadian, I'm not American, and I had like it's like identity nothingness. I don't know. It's like, I mean, and I think maybe this might be symptomatic also of our like current, like I think with the internet and how easily we travel, perhaps we are in a moment where there is no like specific national cultural identity. At this point in time, it might just be the fact that like I feel I'm American because that's what my passport says, but I don't know what that means technically to feel American. I don't think that right now, like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like on a very real level, like what does it mean for me to feel American? Besides for the fact that I know that I'm in this nation, I know that I have this passport, and I know that there's certain privileges and things that come along with me having this passport. And I know that I'm Trinidadian in the sense that my parents were born there, and like that is the culture more or less that I have at home. But even that, like when I go back to Trinidad sometimes now, it's like even they're being subsumed by American culture. I think that I had a perhaps binary idea of identity in terms of nationality 5 years ago. And now I think, and by now I mean literally this past week, I think that I've been like, I think that I've been asking myself more like, what do these identities mean? What do they hold? And how am I holding on to them or not?
So when I was doing research for this, I found that you have a very elusive way to you, like online, and that's something I very much appreciate. Like your images are scattered around on a few different sites. You have a few interviews, but it from like residencies you've done and things like that. But it does seem like it might be intentional that there's not that much of your work out there. It might be intentionally like kept offline. And it did catch my attention when it just feels like there's such a saturation of like images and people wanting to like share their work and, promote themselves. And so I was wondering if you could speak more to that and if it is intentional.
I guess it's intentional in the sense, okay, so whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, I don't like being on Instagram. It I gives me anxiety. I don't like being on Facebook. I don't like the pressure. I'm not trying to like and subscribe. I mean, my social media is YouTube. That's why I watch a lot of YouTube. I don't have my own YouTube channel, but I don't wanna have to fucking get people to fucking the thing. I don't wanna do it. I'm not doing it. I'm so sorry. I feel like this. I'm so sorry, y'all. Okay, I don't want to be on Instagram. I don't want to have to be on Facebook. It's actually a job. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And like,
yeah. And there is a lot of pressure.
There's so much pressure, and I already have a job, and it takes up a lot of my time, and I gotta make these photos, and then I gotta develop them, and I gotta scan them, and like, who has time to be on Instagram?
You're like, I don't want a second job. Yeah.
It didn't do good for my brain. So I just don't do it. And I think that I much prefer, if I'm going to interact with people, to like have to do it like this, this is like in lieu of like being in a real place with someone. But I think if I have to interact with people, I'd much rather do it like one-on-one or something like that. The easiest way to explain myself is to say that like, I think of everything I do is like as a whole. So like, it's the same with like, when I ask the question, like, am I a socially engaged photographer? It's not like I'm trying to like, be like, well, I'm not, it's like, I have to really think about how I move in the world. Like, am I an activist? Is that actually how I move in the world? No. Like, okay, what am I? I'm a political being, of course, that is interested in photographing, that is interested in the context and the reality of what it means to make photographs, what it means to make art. And I am interested in having people see that work, because I think that so many people's lives are worth looking at. And I do believe on a certain level that when you look at someone's life in a certain way, presented in a certain context, that it opens up a space for you to ask questions about yourself mainly. And I think I'm interested in that framework. I'm not as interested in the framework or the context of me presenting myself on Instagram, because I think for me, when I go on to that level, I like lose a lot of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. No. That all makes total sense. We like to ask artists if there is anything that has been bringing you joy, or getting you through the day lately. 3 things that you can think of. It could really be anything, like a new like habit or an object, a person. I was gonna say an Instagram, but I know you don't like that. So yeah,
It's
but
not
really
that I don't like it. It's not that I don't like Instagram. It's just like I shouldn't be on it because I will
right.
spiral. Like it's me. It's not the Instagram.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way though. The spiraling happens a lot. But yeah, any 3 things that have been getting you through the day and bringing you joy.
Food, sleep, talking to my mom.